Good afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm not sure when it'll be. I hope I saw you today in our service, and that we were able to fellowship a little bit, and I hope I made sense in my series on Revelation. I wanted to chat a little bit about two parachurch ministries. What do I mean when I say parachurch? That's a great question that I want to head off at the pass. Basically, these are ministries that operate not outside of the church, but alongside of the church. And I want us to understand the importance of parachurch ministries. There's some things that, as a singular church, we are not able to accomplish as much as we would maybe like to or want to. But instead, many churches come together to support, of like minded faith, come together to support different types of ministries. And today I want to talk about two of them that we support, or um, one not regularly monthly at this point, but the other one that we have for several years. So the first one we'll talk about is West, the West Branch, Bill Rice Ranch, Troy Carlson. For those that you don't know, Troy, um, his parents grew up in, or he grew up in our church. His parents were part of our church, Ray and Barb Carlson. Many of you knew them. Some of you didn't, if you've been here more recently. And Ray and Barb um, had three sons, and Troy is the baby, very close to my age. And Troy has been working down at the Bill Rice Ranch, West Branch, down in Arizona, which originally had been at Flagstaff and then moved to Williams, Arizona. And years ago, I don't remember which year it was now, a group of us went down. Some high schoolers went down for camp, and some of us young adults. And I think I might have even been considered a young adult at that time. It's been that long. Probably not, but I felt more like a young adult than I do today. But we went down there to help work on the camp at Williams. And it has been a process. First, they had to sell their campground in Flagstaff. It just wasn't a great location for them right in town, and need a little more space to spread out, and some updated cabins and such. And so they moved this out to Williams, and it's been a process. And Troy has really led a huge project of trying to raise the funds and keep camp ministry going, keep their ministry going in that western area of the United States. And so that has been a real big challenge for him. And so we have supported Troy for I think as long as I've been here, if not that long, close. And they have done a great work there at West Branch. We're thankful for what they do. And I personally have a major soft spot in my heart for camp ministry. I think there's great things that happen at camp. Young people and adults, families even, are kind of taken away from the hustle and bustle of life. Are able to uh, really have an opportunity to be impacted by the God's word, and through teaching and preaching, and even through some of the game playing and things like that they're able to do at camp. Really gives them an opportunity to get outside of their comfort a little bit, and impact them with the gospel. And so we're going to hear an update from Troy. They've made some more progress even this year on their facilities. He's going to, you'll see that even as he gives us that video, and things even happening right now. And so we're thankful for that. We're thankful for Troy giving us that update. So that's the first one, and I hope you'll take the time to listen to that, and then pray for Troy. Drop Troy an email or a note. You can find him on Facebook. Let them know that you're praying for them, even as they do more work on the grounds and the buildings and all that they're doing. And it's phenomenal, and so we want to pray for them. Then our other ministry that I want to talk a little bit about is the Forgotten Initiative, and we heard from them the first time, I believe last year, and a tremendous ministry. that works with foster families right here in this region. And they work with the foster families as well as the social agencies that place the foster kids, and even some ministry to the foster children. And this is an area that I learned a lot more about years ago as I was studying to become a CASA caseworker. And I would encourage you, by the way, if you wanted to volunteer, either with the Forgotten Initiative and some of the things that they do, or if you want a little bit more intense option, doing the CASA volunteer, look into that. Or if you really want to get your feet dive in, talk to Kyle and Rebecca about foster care. Right now, they're going through the work to become foster parents, and that's a huge commitment and a huge amount of work. We need to be praying for them and their ministry in that way. And so these are ways that the Forgotten Initiative interacts with people in our community that many times are at the most amount of struggle and stress that a family will ever face. And they're helping them, and they're helping the agencies that help them. And as I've had opportunity to interact with some of the agencies about the Forgotten Initiative, you understand how much the Forgotten Initiative means, and the volunteers. Rebecca is one of the volunteers with the Forgotten Initiative, and she does great work. They had a big fundraiser here this weekend. Not really fundraiser, but a time for them to hand out baskets and interact with the foster families of our region, and it's an important work, and I think it's something that we as believers have to see as more of a priority. Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 17 says, "For the Lord your God is God of gods, Lord of lords, the great, the mighty, the awesome God, who is not partial and takes no bribe. He executes justice for the fatherless and the widow, and loves the sojourner, giving him food and clothing." This is who God is. This is very clearly stated by Moses, that this is who God is. God's a God who takes care of the fatherless and the widow, who loves the sojourner, who gives them food and clothing. That's part of the characteristics of God. In Psalm 68 and verse 4, it says, "Sing to God, sing praises to his name, lift up a song to him who rides through the deserts. His name is Lord, exalt before him. Father of the fatherless, protector of widows is God in his holy habitation." God settles the solitary in a home. He leads out the prisoners to prosperity, but the rebellious dwell in a parched land. Again, the psalmist describes God as one who is a fatherless, or father to the fatherless, a protector of widows. An amazing truth. It would be ideal if every family had zero struggles. It would be ideal even if the church was seen fit to take care of the social needs of families who were breaking down, who were struggling. But the reality is, right now, much of that, the church, and I will argue it was the church that usurped a lot of that to the governmental roles. And that's unfortunate. And right now, we have a way as the church to begin to take some of that responsibility back. I would argue back. It's the church's responsibility. And in a way, as we look at the character of God, this is who he is, this is what he expects from us. What does James say? James 1:27. "Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world." That's our job. That's our role. Now, I'm not proclaiming a social gospel, but it is our responsibility to try to care as much as we possibly can for the fatherless. And these foster kids, through no fault of their own, have a great need. These foster families that are trying to take care of these kids, and with the little that the state helps them, it's a challenge. And that's where the Forgotten Initiative steps in and says, okay, we as the church need to come together and help these families that are helping these kids. We need to come and we need to look at it as our responsibility as the church to help, to be the hands and feet of Christ and minister to these people. And so the idea is that we as believers need to step up. And so I'm going to show you some pictures in just a minute, and Rebecca's going to give us a little update about their baskets, and Amber as well will do that, about some of the things that they were able to do on Saturday. And I hope as you watch those things that you're moved to even look at their website. I'm going to include a link in the email that you clicked on to get this. A link there to remind you how to support them, how to give and help their ministry. I'm going to encourage you even to go to their website and check them out a little bit and see what they're doing and how you can be a help. They just recently moved into an office now and are needing more income to cover the needs and the expenses of having an office. But it was something that was really needed so that they could actually have a base location that was theirs, where they could help and serve families and serve these foster families and the social workers. And so I hope that as you learn about these two ministries a little bit more, that you're encouraged a little bit to be active in praying for these ministries as well as giving to them and to help them. They both have needs. As a leader of another parachurch ministry that we won't talk about right now, Galesburg Christian School, I will tell you that there's great needs, and that especially during this COVID-19 situation, it's tough. And there's a need there. And so let's try to be a help to these two ministries. And if you can do nothing less, one of the greatest things you can do is to pray for both of these ministries. And so I hope today you'll take the time to do that. And I hope as we continue to go through and look at some of our missionaries that we support and different ministries that we support, that you'll, this summer, as we do this, gain a little bit more of an understanding of what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing, and how we can better pray for them and help them. Okay? So watch these today. I hope they'll be a help to you. Or make sure you drop them a note thanking them. If you can help out with Forgotten Initiative, send them $20, send them $100. I know that'd be a great blessing and encouragement to them. And drop Troy a note and let him know you're praying for him. Thankful for his ministry. Thankful for what's going on there at West Branch. Okay? Thank you for joining us this afternoon, evening. Watch these videos, pay attention, and then respond with prayer and just a note of encouragement. All right? All right. Thank you, folks.
Hello, and welcome to West Branch. Glad you're here. Wanted to show you around a little bit. Well, what do you think? Pretty neat, huh? I'll tell you more about this in a little bit, but just wanted to give you a little update of what's been going on in the ministry. I think you would guess, probably, that it's been a unique time for us, as it has been for a lot of people with the COVID-19 situation going on and so forth. We've had a men's retreat canceled in the last few months, senior trips, different things like that we would have had going on. But we've just been continuing on and trying to do what we can. Actually, today was the first time I had preached since March the 1st, 3 months, and that's very unusual for me as well. It's kind of a unique time right now because due to not having so much of the camps and meetings and so forth, of course, we're being very careful financially. Let me just stop and say thank you. By the way, this video being made for a couple of our supporting churches, and thank you friends in Tucson and you friends in Illinois as well for your support. It has especially been helpful during this time as it always is. But we've had some unique times. We've been canceling things and being very careful with finances. On the other hand, we've also started the building process for our dining hall. So in one case, we're questioning every purchase, and in another case, we're signing papers for a $750,000 project. And so that, of course, is because of God's provision, and we're very excited we've been able to continue doing some things, especially here on the property during this time. Well, with our spring events being canceled, that came into summer and put summer in question a little bit. We did move everything out of the month of June, and so we were supposed to have a ladies' event at the end of this week. That would be the 5th and 6th of June from when I'm recording this, and that's actually been postponed until July. Our junior camp later on in June, we've postponed that until July as well. And as of right now, we are hopeful with the Lord's help that we'll be able to get in teen camps and junior camp and our ladies' summer getaway in the month of July. June the 25th is when our summer staff arrives here at West Branch, and so we're looking forward to them coming as well. But what do you think of this rodeo corral? This is something that we've been excited about. Kind of took two concepts that we had back in Flagstaff and put them together, a stage front that we can use for skits, as well as a rodeo corral for our camper rodeos, things like pig chases and tug of war and those types of things that will go on here. We'll use this a lot for activities as well. And even beyond that, due to the COVID situation, we'll probably have more outside services this summer than normally we do. And you saw with the bleachers that we have here that that'll give us a great venue for that also. We thank the Lord for the volunteers that God has sent our way to put this up. One has been a gentleman that does missionary construction projects. He lives about an hour and a half away from here now, and he spent weeks, day after day, coming up here to work on this. Of course, our own staff as well. And then there's a pastor who arrives later today to finish up a few more things, some railings upstairs and so forth, to complete it. This will be his third week of time volunteering here, and many others. Ironically, I didn't really, because of the COVID situation, feel good about appealing to folks to come in and help us, but God just kept sending us people to help, and we thank the Lord for that. Also sending us the funds to be able to do this. When it's all said and done, this project and other things we had to do to even get here through the mud and so forth will be about $10,000, and we thank the Lord for his providing that. Hey, and I mentioned the dining hall as well. That's pretty exciting. We've been wanting to get this going for a while. We have a donor who is promised to build the whole building if we could take care of the infrastructure. We've decided and found out we can build it in 2 phases, and one phase will just get the building up and be able to occupy it as a better auditorium, and then we'll work on the kitchen and dining in there perhaps next year. But Lord willing, we will have steel delivered and on the ground in July. It will be erected in later July and August. And our plan, Lord willing, is to have it complete by the beginning of November or so forth, that we could also occupy, maybe even use it in part for a men's conference next March. Please pray with us about that. It's very, very exciting, but of course a lot of details. We thank the Lord for the contractor the Lord has given us. He's a Christian man. We are paying him, but he is saving us a lot of money in other places and has really been a help to coordinate these things. We have raised a lot of money towards the electrical, which we've already set up for the building. Fire suppression, that's where we're also seeing that we're going to have that completed before we can occupy. And we actually won't have to do the sanitation and water for it until the second phase. But if you'll just be praying, there probably are some expenses we're going to hit that we're not quite prepared for. So we're asking the Lord to provide for that need very soon so that we can keep everything moving. And our construction season is not as long as some places. When we started this project, it was mud everywhere in March. Very difficult to get around. But right now it's good and dry, and it should be great for building, and it shouldn't be a conflict with our summer camps as well. So please be praying for us about that. Now that's all the building. We're excited, but it's not just building, it's of course ministry. When we couldn't have some of our camps and retreats, the Lord put on our heart an idea called the Bible Roundup Challenge, to use a devotional for junior boys and girls, younger kids, to get in the habit of reading their Bible. So we put that out, and 90 kids took up the challenge. If they would read through their Bible every day, at least 24 days through the month of May, then we would give them free Chick-fil-A. And that was provided through a lady in our church in Flagstaff that works at Chick-fil-A. And we've already sent out, I think, 26 cards so far to the kids who have accomplished that. We're trying to encourage the rest to get that finished up very, very soon. So we're excited. That's been a blessing. And furthermore, I didn't even expect this, but there were 3 kids who have been saved through this program. They read their Bible, and they read about Jesus suffering for us and for our salvation, and they started asking questions of mom or somebody near them, and the end result was that they got saved, and 2 were brothers. And so that's been very exciting. All 3 of those are from Arizona, and we thank the Lord for that. On top of the Bible Roundup Challenge, we also have our annual Southwest Youth Challenge. That's a different program. That's for teenagers to stay involved in church. And we give a prize, several $100s, to the winning church. And Open Door is in that contest, has been for years, and other churches from around the Southwest. So that's starting up here next week is when that gets going. Very close in time to get that started. And then we've got our camps, as I say. So please be in prayer. We're going through a lot of work and effort just to be in a spot where we are safe to have camp, where we are doing what we're being asked to do and what is recommended to us to do. But even beyond that, we want it to be safe. We realize this whole pandemic has been a real issue. We have loved ones that we've lost, or have been loved ones of friends of ours that have passed on or been greatly affected, at least in both cases. And so we realize it's a serious situation. We take that very seriously. So pray with us for the safety, for our effectiveness, especially because we don't want to just have camp. We want to have camp where God is working and sees many young people's lives changed. It's happened so many times before, and that's what we're praying for. So hey, thank you so much for your continued support. It really means a lot to us. It's been especially a help. It always is, but it's been especially encouragement in these last few months that have been a little more difficult in that regard. And just continue praying for us, and we thank the Lord for you. God bless you.
Hello, church family. Yeah, here we are at Bethel. You can see all of our summer baskets, and they've been driving through picking up their baskets, and then we have a diaper station over there, and then a whole bunch of social workers from DCFS and Lutheran and CYFS showed up to meet their families and talk to them and give them their baskets and stuff like that. So a huge crowd turned out, and it's been super exciting and fun. Thank you guys so much for your involvement and your donations. You guys are awesome! I'm so proud to be part of Bethany Baptist Church.
Hi guys, happy Saturday. It's Amber here with TFI, and I have already cried many times today because of the blessings that you guys have brought to my heart and to foster families. So I'm sorry if I get a little bit emotional. You saw the photos, the photo of all of our baskets. I wanted to show you, we have been passing out baskets for about an hour. They are starting to dwindle down. We have been able to talk to and connect with foster parents and just show them the love of Jesus, show them how grateful we are for them. We've been able to have some really great conversations. We have all of our agency workers that are here with us that are able to thank their foster families. We also are super blessed with Loving Bottoms Diaper Bank that has donated enough diapers for us to be able to give diapers of every size to our foster families, which is such a blessing. We have our agency workers and our TFI workers that are here. We have all these baskets. This is you guys. This is you guys showing up and being the hands and feet of Jesus to foster families in our area. And I just am completely blown away. All of this represents you guys and your work in our community. And so I just wanted to thank you. We are going to get you numbers and tell you later a little bit, but I wanted to pop on right now and just say thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for continuing to show up and do the hard work alongside of us. Continue to pray with us and for us. We have about another hour of reaching out to and loving on foster parents and foster families and foster kids. And so I just want to thank you and implore you to pray with us for the remainder of the day as we continue on our morning.